Imagine this. You are in a cozy English pub, sipping beer, when you notice something strange in a glass box behind the counter. It's not a vintage whiskey, it's not a football trophy, it's a human skull, a real one, with a yellowing note, skull of Alum Bheg, executed in 1858 Indian Mutiny. This isn't a horror film, this is history, buried, forgotten until now. I am Siddharth, and this is Political Gamut. Yes, we were silent for a while, but not anymore. We are back to expose the untold, the uncomfortable, the erased. History, politics, power, raw and real. No filters, no noise, just truth. This is the comeback, and it starts now.
Modi, you're fantastic.
To understand this story, we need to go back to 1857, the year of India's first war of independence, or as the British call the Sepoy Mutiny. It wasn't just a rebellion, it was a movement born out of frustration, betrayal, and centuries of exploitation. British officers disrespected Indian soldiers' religion, seized kingdoms, taxed farmers into starvation, and looted India's wealth worth over $45 trillion today, according to economist Utsa Patnaik. And when Indian soldiers from Meerut to Jhansi, Kanpur to Delhi rose in revolt, the British responded with unspeakable brutality. Amid this chaos, in the cantonment town of Sialkot, now in Pakistan, lived a soldier named Alum Beg, a Havildar in the Bengal Native Infantry. He fought against the British during the revolt of 1857. He wasn't a criminal, he wasn't a terrorist, he was a freedom fighter. But in 1858, the British decided to make an example out of him. They tied him to the mouth of a cannon and blew him apart publicly, a method of execution used by the British specifically for Indian rebels to erase not just the body but identity. But the story doesn't end there. Decades later, in a quiet English village, a skull was discovered in a pub. Yes, you heard it right. A pub. Inside a glass box with a handwritten note attached. It reads, Skull of Havildar Alum Bheg, blown from a gun at Sialkot, 1858. How did it get there? No one knows exactly, but the note hints it was taken by a British officer named Captain Costello as a souvenir of colonial cruelty. For over 100 years, this skull sat unclaimed, unremembered in an English family's attic. Until 2014, when author Kim Wagner found it and unraveled the story in his book, The Skull of Alum Bheg.
Skull of Havildar Alum Bheg, 46th Regt, Bengal NN infantry, who was blown away from a gun amongst several others of his Regt. He was a principal leader in the mutiny of 1857 and of a most ruffianly disposition. He took possession, at the head of a small party, of the road leading to the fort, to which place all the Europeans were hurrying for safety. His party surprised and killed Dr. Graham, shooting him in his buggy by the side of his daughter. His next victim was the Reverend Mr. Hunter, a missionary, who was flying with his wife and daughters in the same direction. Alum Bheg was about 32 years of age, 5 feet 7.5 inches high, and by no means an ill-looking native. The skull was brought home by Captain A.R. Costello, late Captain 7th Drag Guards, who was on duty when Alum Bheg was executed.
This isn't just about one skull, it's about colonial violence. It's about memory. It's about how the British Empire reduced, killed Indian martyrs into nameless bones. Even today, there is no monument in India for Alum Bheg. No textbook, no mention, no official demand to bring his remains back. While we celebrate Independence Day with parades and speeches, this man's skull still lies in Britain, in a pub. His name known to only a few. Why hasn't India asked for his remains? Why does Britain still keeps relics of empire, from the Kohinoor to the skull of a soldier who died from his homeland, who died for his motherland? We owe people like Alum Bheg more than silence. We owe them remembrance, reputation, and reverence. In 2018, the British family handed over the skull to a museum, but it's still in the UK. It's still far from home. Maybe it's time we ask, when will he return? And how many more like him still forgotten? If you are watching this, you know the name Alum Bheg. Don't forget it. Share his story. Let's ask our leaders to bring him home. This isn't just about history. It's identity, it's justice, it's memory. And to Alum Bheg, Havildar, rebel, martyr, we say today, we remember you. And one day, we will bring you home. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, share, and do your comment so that we can bring more such stories to you and with our audience. With this, I'm Siddharth, your host, signing off as of now. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.